And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone tuned in to INCRadio San Francisco, California. I'm one of your hosts today. My name is Sophia.
And I'm Brother James. Welcome to all of our viewers from all over the world. Thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you. We are so excited for our topic, which is going to be back to school tips. So we actually have a panelist who is joining us online as well. Brother, could you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Brother Miguel. I am from the local congregation of Fremont, and I'm from the district of Silicon Valley. I am currently a third-year college student at San Jose State University, and I'm studying public health.
Awesome. Brother Miguel, we are so excited to hear some of your back to school tips. And I know you're going to share a wealth of knowledge for us who are watching, especially those who are college students or soon to be college students, maybe even parents of college students. So if you know a college student in your life, go ahead and send them this link to watch and tune into our broadcast as well. But actually, we have a few special guests with us as well, because as you can see, our district and region held the International Pasugo Quiz, which is the activity that we are featuring. Brethren, could you go ahead and introduce yourselves as well?
Hi, everyone. I'm Brother Darwin from the local congregation of Burlingame.
You got
Hello, I'm Sister Lexa from the locale of Burlingame.
You got Lexa.
Hello po, I'm Sister Charlene from the locale of Burlingame.
And not to brag or anything too much, well, but they are our champions for the regional elimination level, or the regional level elimination round for our activity. How are you guys feeling?
We're still kind of in shock that we actually won this.
That's nice.
Could you tell us, not everyone was able to be here in person. What was the activity and what was kind of like the format of what you all had to do tonight?
Yeah, so we were in competition with 10 other districts for this regional level of competition, and it was basically a video conference where we were answering questions about the Pasugo through Google Form. So that was kind of interesting, but we also were able to see the other districts as well through WebEx. So it was nice.
Absolutely. And it was so cool being able, for those who are online, you would see the districts of like San Diego, where else? Singapore, Thailand, all throughout California. And it was really great. How did you all prepare for this when it came to studying? I know there was a lot of information, I think over 40 questions that you had to keep in mind too. What was preparation like for your family?
Our strategy was kind of to divide and conquer, where each of us would be assigned a certain Pasugo or God's Message magazine, and kind of focus on that, and so that we could really get into the details of each of those magazines.
Cool, awesome. And for Sister Char, what was it like being able to participate with your whole family? Well, your family that's your immediate family here.
It's very rewarding to be able to have them experience this with us as a family too. And we were joking that this was a good time for them to learn to actually open a Pasugo magazine. And with that, I felt like that's a way to win, learning how to read the Pasugo and knowing what that is. So it's a really it's a blessed experience tonight. We didn't expect this, so we're just happy to be able to participate. And then
Actually, I'd like to ask a question for Sister Lexi, right? Was it Lexi? Lexa. Sorry, Sister Lexa. What was your favorite thing to learn in this whole not necessarily competition, but in the whole process? What was your favorite thing to learn?
It was probably those Bible stories in the middle of the Pasugos.
I love that. That's the one. I also grew up reading the Bible stories in the Pasugo, so that's also one of my favorite things to read.
that was your assignment.
Yeah, that's awesome. You have a lot of congratulations coming in the live chat as well from our CFO overseer, Brother Alex says, congratulations to the Lee family, West champion for
Thank
the
you.
regional level God's Message Quiz Family Edition 2024. Sister Reese and Reyes also says, woohoo, go Lee family. And we're really expressing how proud of you that we all are. Do you have any greetings or last things you'd like to share as well?
Oh, we just want to say thanks to the entire district for the
Yes,
support
Paul.
they
Thank you,
provided
Paul.
our family in this activity.
For
It was a
cheering
great
us on.
experience. Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you, everyone.
Paul.
Awesome. Thank you. And we're excited to see what happens next.
Yeah.
Where the
We'll
next
see.
level
It's exciting.
will be probably broadcasting or hearing some more about it on INCRadio as well. Thank you again.
Thank you so
much.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Paul. Thank you, Paul.
And for all of us who are tuning in, there have been so many activities within our districts. If we could go ahead, Clea Tech, if you could show some of the materials that we have as well when it comes to our district activities. So Clea Tech, all right. So first off, we have our family nature walk, which will be taking place in the District of Bay Area, California. This is going to be on Sunday, August 25th at 4 p.m. over in Lake Chabot, over in Castro Valley. We also have our upcoming vocal workshop, which will be taking place at the Hayward Chapel. This is also Sunday, August 25 at 6 p.m. And I hope everyone will come to this one as well tomorrow morning, our nature photo walk. This is one of our first district multimedia activities that we are having outside. So I hope to see everyone at the district multimedia nature walk. In addition, we have held an amazing activity in the district of Silicon Valley. This is actually our baccalaureate. So congratulations to all of the graduates who were able to participate. Brother Miguel, were you also able to be at the baccalaureate, or any graduates that you recognize in the photos as well?
Yeah. Yes, I was there. So there was a lot of graduates that were celebrated. I believe we had about 14 graduates that came. It was in a wide range from graduating from middle school to high school, college graduates, and also post back their masters and beyond. So we had a lot of talent within that's focusing on their education, and we are able to celebrate it in our new district in Silicon Valley. We were in the function hall. Their sister Roger Lee, I believe, so she was able to graduate with her associate's degree. And yes, there's a lot of students that are starting to go back to school, and hopefully by next year we'll have even more graduates for our baccalaureate. So just want to give a shout out to all of those who graduated in the baccalaureate last weekend, and it was a really great turnout from everybody.
Yeah, definitely. And graduation is not a small feat. It is a lot of years of study and even whatever the level is. Brother James, do you remember your middle school graduation or even your elementary graduation?
I don't remember specifically my middle school graduation. I believe the only graduation that I can recall vividly was probably my high school graduation. That's actually was the reason I ended up getting into INCRadio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my very first INCRadio show was a graduation episode. And it was, and that's how I ended up getting on INCRadio.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, but that's just a little fun little tidbit right there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Man, that's almost making me emotional to hear, Brother
Yeah.
James. I'm trying to remember if I was on air for that one too. That's great though. Yeah. And, a huge congratulations to all the graduates from Silicon Valley. And they were also able to have a special lesson led by the district supervising minister, Brother Noel Gasman, as well, who, really reminded them, of course, about the importance of fulfilling their studies, but also fulfilling their duties. So, really amazing spiritual reminders as well, which I think we're so blessed wherever we are in the Church of Christ that, the spiritual reminders come hand in hand with the encouragement to study hard and work for a bright future. Going back to Bay Area, California, we also were able to have a district activity last weekend, our CWS Officers Conference. So this took place in the local congregation of Hayward and was led by our CFO overseer, Brother Alex, as well as our assistant district supervising minister, Brother Raywell. And it was for all the CWS officers, whether they were teachers, chairpersons, watchers, maybe even aspiring officers as well. I think Brother James might have spotted himself in one of the
Yeah.
photos.
I didn't realize. I was like, wow, that brother's shirt looks nice. It's my shirt.
James was like, I know him. Wait, it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love being able to come together. The CWS has such a special place in all of our hearts, and being able to have these kind of activities is, man, it's always really great. It really pushes you to go the next level within your duties as well. So here's a couple of views of the attendees who are listening. And it was a lesson, like the importance of fulfilling our duties, but they also had icebreakers for us and also just general reminders of how we should perform within the CWS.
All right, so it was a very, very, very inspirational special gathering. It really
Mhm.
highlighted not only um, the various triumphs of each local, also the things that we can always improve on.
Mhm.
Right, that's always a moment of growth, and it was really nice, and it was an amazing presentation led by the district CWS leadership. So shout out to all of them. I believe it was Q Rod,
Yeah.
Sister
Mhm.
TJ,
Sister Atlanta. Yeah.
and fantastic presentation. Absolutely.
Definitely. And for any of those who are interested in becoming a CWS officer, whether within the local level or oh, there's James. We recognize James. Yeah. But then, any of those who are interested in being CWS officers, in the local or even in the district level, there's always so much that you're able to do as well. So hopefully, for those who are watching and maybe want to be a CWS officer, go ahead and speak to, the officers within your locale and try it out. It's a fun time.
Absolutely. And not only is it fun, it's also very rewarding to be able to help the CWS of our locals or all of our local congregations continue to grow. It's really, really interesting for me when I watch them from like they're 4 years old, and then you just watch them grow because you're always going to be, well, you're their ate and kuya, and I
Yeah.
think it's a very, very
Mhm.
rewarding feeling.
Definitely. I agree 100%, James. And, even seeing our youth in their studies and how they're working hard in school transitions us right to our
Great
topic.
transition. Great transition. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Brother Miguel, going back to you, you mentioned that you're a college student. What's your favorite class right now?
So far, I really enjoy so epidemiology. So it's the study of the spread of diseases or bacteria to different populations. So my current major is public health, and I was able to learn a lot from that class because it really touched based on what we experienced in the past 4 years, which is, of course, COVID-19. And my professor, she's actually one of the leads scientists in the San Jose city. They're the ones tracking and doing all the population census. And just she was one of the leads in charge of contact tracing. So, how COVID was able to get transmitted to different people, different groups, and I thought that was really interesting so far in this semester. And I really thought it was really engaging to have real world experiences being brought up to the classroom. And I think that's by far my favorite class. The professor is really engaging, and I was able to learn so much from her. And just overall, the subject matter is really interesting to me. Yeah.
Brother Miguel, you're speaking my language because I majored in biology for college
Oh,
also,
really?
and that
Yeah.
was I love science. I love
Yeah.
studying science. Like you can just lecture science to me all day and I'll just be so engaged. But James, what about for you? What was your favorite course or even class in your studies that you've taken?
You know what? I was studying engineering, but not a single math class comes to mind when I think of what's my favorite.
Not
Nope,
calculus?
not a single math class comes to mind. I believe, in another time, I would definitely would love to pursue a career in history.
Mhm.
It was, I believe, what's it called? at that time, I believe it was called African American Studies, from the time of it's like an anthropology class, I think.
Mhm.
And then yeah, it's very impactful for me. It just touched a portion of my mind that loves history.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like history too, actually, especially like art history classes. Shout out to anyone who enjoys studying art history. It's really, there's a lot to it and it can get
There's a
really
lot to
deep.
unpack. Yes.
Hmm. Yeah, totally. And those classes, especially about like, I guess, human behavior and, the reasons for some history. Yeah, it's really interesting. Cool. Yeah.
Wait, actually, I'm taking it back.
Oh, yeah,
Wait, I'm
yeah.
changing my answer.
Not
No,
history
so what
anymore.
happened? No, I was like, now that I'm thinking about, so what other classes did I?
Yeah.
No, I went to what's it called? Drama history. Yeah, I took
Oh,
drama history for one of my
yeah.
general education classes. But
Drama history.
we took a full like almost half a semester just doing improv. So
Mm.
Oh, that's
in a
cool.
sense, I believe I wouldn't be the same person I am now had I not taken, because I and I tell this to everyone, but no one believes me. But I'm an introvert. But no one believes me because of the way I carry myself. But it really stemmed from that one classroom. Like that one class was very, very impactful. Being able to get out of my shell. So I think in terms of for the students online and whether it's high school going to college or current college students, you have your courses, you have your general education courses, but don't be afraid to like add a little class that'll be a little fun for you. I think that also helps with managing your stress levels. I know it's very stressful, meeting deadlines, meeting test scores, and all that, and everything that happens in school. But being able to add like one or two electives, right, to just really offload. Like for me, it was that drama class
Yeah.
and piano. I took 1 year of piano, and I believe that was really what helped me go through all those tough higher division classes like calculus, integrations, stuff that I don't really find interesting, but just a little tidbit information for all those students back home.
Yeah, that's a really good tip.
Yeah, I really think that like diversifying not just within your major, but taking classes that's beyond what you normally going to take within your major. You said you're engineering. I don't think drama history has any correlation to that, but you did have a lot. You learned a lot of transferable skills. That class helped you become more extroverted. It helped you put yourself out there, and overall just help you in other ways than that could be more useful in the day to day, like being more social and being able to talk and strike up conversations. And
Right.
you know,
Exactly.
yeah, if you told me that you're an introvert before I met you, I would not have believed you.
Yeah, no one does. But I promise it is
Yeah.
it's all college is a very great way to kind of fill out your experiences. You go as a young adult in the Binhi era, your stage is then you learn, you grow, and then you hit college, and it's when you get like expounds a little bit more on your general experiences, your information, your knowledge. It becomes broader, way broader, right? And you get introduced to different topics, different studies that you may not have heard of before, right? I would never have thought that I'd be able to be speaking publicly like this.
Mhm.
But these are all soft skills, like Brother Miguel said, that you can learn, and so it's very interesting, and it's very fun to learn more stuff.
Is it okay if we can read the comments? I see that there's some people that have posted what they were studying before, what they do. I think I see a brother. He was teaching. His favorite courses was Filipino American history, comic studies, and intro to teaching and microbiology. That's really cool.
Ooh.
Yes. And shout out to Brother Joel, who's also actually here in the studio, just behind
Oh,
the scenes with us. Yeah. But yeah, shout out to Brother Joel. And he also shares that he's an aspiring elementary teacher.
Love it.
And he loved having classes where he's able to learn how to teach children, especially subjects such as art and physical education.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
very well rounded. I love that. Brother Joel, shout out to you.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Brother
you.
Joel. Yeah. And also, I promise he's behind the scenes helping
Yeah.
us out here today as well. Yeah, and we have from Sister Reason Reyes. She says, congratulations to all the 2024 graduates. And let's see, who else do we have? And she also says, shout out to all our hardworking CWS officers.
Shout out to all our
Yeah.
C-Dubs
From Brother
officers.
Raymond
Woo.
Acosta, he says, hi, Brother James.
Look,
Shout out to,
Ramon.
to Paramount. And then Brother Joel says, that's me. Love you all, boy. Nice. Let's see. And Mighty Visitation, who says, good afternoon, po. Viewing from Visayas Avenue Central. And actually, all the way from Athens, District of Mediterranean, Brother Dante Castro says, hello, po.
Welcome, Brother
Watching from
Dante.
Athens.
Brother
Man,
Dante.
I want to be able to speak my Greek, but I might make a make an error.
I believe we had this conversation before, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
said, give me that one phrase you were trying to teach me.
Oh man, I can't remember, Brother James. That was so many broadcasts. But if Brother Dante, you're still on Kalispera Tikanis, that means good evening. How are you? And if Haristo, thank you for tuning in to INC Radio, all the way.
Ooh, and another Brother Dante.
Oh man,
that's all
another
you.
Brother Dante Bruel, who says "Annyeong haseyo." I don't want to say the third word in case I make a mistake, Paul, but he's tuning in all the way from South Korea.
Oh, wow.
Wow, thank you, Paul. Wow, we have a lot from afar tuning in. Brother
Absolutely.
James.
This is
Yeah.
always fun to hear from our brethren from all over the world.
Yeah.
For the ones in the comment section, do you guys have a favorite topic or a favorite subject that you remember from your school days?
Yeah, let
We
us
would love
know.
to hear from you guys.
Yes.
Let us know. Now, Brother Miguel, have you started school already this new school year?
Yeah, so I just started last week. So it's a little bit daunting, but I'm excited. I've been on campus, I believe, Monday through Thursday. So I have classes all the way from 9 a.m. all the way till, I believe my last class is like 6 p.m. So from 9 to 6, and then I have some breaks in between. So it's a lot of work, but I'm really excited to go kind of get into the groove.
Yeah, definitely. How does it feel? Were you taking school over the summer also, or were you on like full break and now
I
just jumping
was.
in?
Yeah, so I have a really just to kind of give a backstory, I have a really non-traditional college background. So when I first started college, I wanted to study to become a nurse. However, I studied as a nurse, and then I got into school, a nursing school down in Southern California. Shout out to Garden Grove. If there's anyone from Garden Grove, Orange County, that's where was my old locale before. And I was doing I think 2 semesters of nursing. And I realized after doing clinicals, it's just not the career for me. I've had like me and Brother James talked about different walls. I think it was just not the career that I wanted to pursue and really do for the rest of my life. And that's understandable. There's a lot of people that want to try new things, and when you try new things, you figure out it's not really for you. So I came back to the Bay Area where I'm from, and I did a program that that basically 1 year program that is a adult program that teaches students, non-traditional students, how to join corporate America. And I wanted to do something along the lines of joining into tech, breaking into the different tech spaces that we're really known for in Silicon Valley. And I was able to learn so much from that. And that basically took up my whole 2022 to 2023. And then when I graduated from that program, I decided that I really want to finish my school and I really want to finish my bachelor's degree. And that what brought me back to San Jose State, where I'm studying as right now, and I'm studying to become for public health. So I I tried different career paths over the past 3 to 4 years. I did internships, and I worked at corporate, and I worked in also for the city and of city of San Leandro, and just working all these different jobs and careers really gave me a broader perspective of how education can be used to help heighten your skill sets for those entering the workforce. So I came about many different things, but I'm very thankful that I was able to try the things that I wanted to try. And like what Brother James said earlier, if it wasn't for, putting yourself out there, trying new things, you wouldn't be able to know what is good for you, what actually works for you. And that's just the discovery of working towards something, especially when you're young. It's all about self discovery, and I think college and trying new things is that optimal time to really figure out what's best for you and what you think is the best thing that could be for success.
Well said, brother Migs. Thank you so much for everything. Absolutely. Can we show some love to brother Migs for his, not only just his journey,
Yeah.
but for, for all everything that accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? That accomplish that story, that journey isn't just solely his. I feel it's very applicable to a lot of brethren's lives, a lot of people in this all over the world, right? Who
Yeah.
may have not took, like you said, took the traditional route. But to be able to come back, you said, "Hey, I'm gonna finish out. I'm gonna make my, I'm gonna find that career that really aligns with what I believe and what I want to study and what I want to do for the rest of my life." Absolutely, that's applause worthy for sure.
Yeah, and I think that it's important to talk about these things because you would always see on social media and all those people that we kind of see on LinkedIn or Facebook, whichever, about people finishing school as like within 3 years, some even two, finishing their bachelor's degree. They already know what they want, but then there's this other group of people that I'm sure we all know, they don't know what they want and they are still trying to figure out what careers they think is best for them. And there's a lot of them are just doing studying and doing careers that they think it's what people what our culture wants them to do. We I think we have a really high emphasis on what of trying to accomplish and having everything figured out. But take it for myself. I'm a non-traditional student and I didn't graduate on time, but that doesn't make you less of a person. It makes you actually, if you're still trying to figure out yourself, I rather you figure out yourself, take your time, invest on learning about what's best for you, what works for you, than completing a degree that you're kind of miserable about and doing a job that you're miserable about. Because not everybody's going to be a nurse, not everyone's going to become an engineer, not everyone's going to become a doctor. But one of the biggest things that I figured out is that just trying new things and being able to put yourself out there is the best way to really figure out for yourself and yourself only what's the best career for you. And that's through education, just trial and error. And I don't regret any of those things that I've done within my time span. Yeah.
Brother Miggs, I actually have a question for you, and
Yeah,
it's in
Brother
regards
James.
to something we were discussing prior to the segment.
Yeah.
Is what were some transferable habits that, as somebody who's coming in for round two, going back into school,
Around two, yeah.
right? What were some habits that you picked up in corporate America, like you mentioned,
Mhm.
and that you can apply to school? And if you were to try to say or tell this to somebody who is, for example, in college right now, as a younger college student,
Mhm.
or what are some things that you can say that really helped you in your study habits?
I see. So that's a very packed question. So, what are things that I learned that I was able to use from my experiences that can be applied to studying and being successful in school? So, let's kind of unpack that. There's a lot of things that I learned with it, but one of the biggest things that I learned was networking. It doesn't have to do with studying, but networking for some reason is used everything in life. When you're networking, you're able to learn how people who are successful in like different fields accomplish the things that they were able to do. So to put it into perspective, I was struggling with some of the subjects that I was doing previously, and I was able to talk to people that finished those courses, and I was able to reach out to them through text message or just through other applications, and I was able to get on a coffee chat, which is basically a a corporate thing or slang where you basically get a 15-minute video chat and just ask them questions, ask them advice or so. And that's probably one of the biggest things that I've learned, because if you're able to talk to people that are successful in the things that you want to be successful in, you're able to self-apply that. You don't have to recreate the wheel. Just follow what's successful and what works for them. And if it was able to work well for them, it more likely than not able to work well for you. So for this particular example, I was struggling with I believe it was like a math class. I'm not so good at math, but I was able to talk to some of those people that were able to finish that class. He was able to show me the different websites that he used and different practice problems that he was able to use when studying within his course. And he basically taught me, this is what you're going to be studying. This is what you're going to be quizzed on your final exam, your midterms. And that could be, this is just focus on that. And lo and behold, I was able to pass that class, and that's very transferable, especially after college. So when you're in college, or once you're post back, or once you're in working, you're gonna be tasked a lot of things that you do not know what to do yet. Your onboarding, your skills of like just getting to know the company. You may not know how things operate, but if you have just the ability to reach out, that's the biggest thing. Reaching out first, more likely than not, those people are willing to help you out with the things that you're struggling with. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things that I've learned. It's not particularly a studied trick, but it's a trick that could be applicable to not just studying, but just also corporate, also life, and just even within it works all really well, especially within church as well. So I hope take however you want to take that, but that's one of the things that I learned that I thought is really useful.
Awesome tip. Yeah. And I think that's something too that college students should keep in mind that I almost wish I had known more of when I was in college. The way, like, yes, you might love studying something, but doing it every day is as work. It's a different kind of experience, right? I mean, in the start of the show, I kind of mentioned I loved like, having people lecture science to me, but
Yeah.
I never really saw myself in a lab, or I never really saw myself in healthcare. I also love explaining science topics. Like that's why I went into education for a time, because I love, being able to speak and explain, hence INCRadio. But
Wow,
like
I didn't think you were
I
in
think,
education.
yeah, I was actually a substitute teacher
Oh
for
wow.
for a chemistry course for about a year and a half or so. So I was with high school juniors, but that was also a very much a learning experience, and kind of seeing like, I guess my own patience, just learning a lot about myself. And, I was doing it up until the pandemic happened. So once the pandemic came along, it also was kind of a time for a career change to come along. Because,
Understandable.
yeah, I don't think you really know how much you love a career until you're in it, and until it's like your everyday.
Exactly.
So that's kind of the tips I would give to those who are studying. Like, study your hardest, try out, and if you end up changing and maybe going a different way in what you studied and what you want to do as your career, that's okay too. Like, you can have the time to change, and just keep working hard. That's the number one thing, I think. Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at
What do
you
I
at
want
fist
to? I was
bump.
like, wait, what are we talking about?
Sorry, I didn't mean to
I'm going
interrupt you, but I was
through-
like,
no, no,
I was
no,
like,
no,
wow,
no,
look at
yeah.
that. Look, Sophia
No,
Lord.
yeah. My background.
No,
Your funny
absolutely, and
face,
it,
yeah. But hopefully that helps someone watching.
I'm sure the folks over at back home, they're actually blowing up the chat. I love that.
Yeah.
We're just gonna read a few more. Let's see, a few more comments. Let's see. This is from. I'm sorry, I can't see it from
Reason.
here.
Oh yeah, sorry, our camera's blocking. But Sister Reason Reyes, she also gives the advice: sign up for a mentorship program
Yes, I
or work.
really I also agree with that comment. Yes.
Yeah, definitely a mentorship. It kind of teaches you. And similarly, in her story, I majored in bio, but I also transitioned to public administration as my master's, and happy with that decision. And I
Wow.
think, yeah, transitions. And I think we have Brother Darwin Leeds also in the chat. Says, thank you both for all the greetings and support. We love you both from the Lee family locale of Burlingame, Bay Area, California. And we have Rochelle Solomon, happy viewing mga kapatid from Singapore, hashtag West. And then from Mighty Visitacion, yes, stay focused to your goals and pray more often.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Very key, actually.
very key. Yeah, because if you're guided in what you'll do, then it ends up working out, right? And I
Absolutely.
mean, we end up being where we're meant to be. I think also when it comes to school and even the future we're trying to aspire for as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, Brother Miguel, would you have any message or even tips that you would say to any of your fellow students or any of those who might be tuning in who are also
Yes.
maybe feeling nervous about this new school year or maybe don't know what to expect as they're going through college? Do you have any message to them as well?
Yes, I think what we just mentioned by my the comment about being able to pray often. I think putting works and faith is important. That's one of the things that I had to do, especially when transitioning out of nursing. I was in nursing school already, and it was one of the hardest decisions I ever had to make, because it was there was a lot of I had back at that time I had a lot on my plate, and if it wasn't for continuous devotional prayer, I don't think I was able to transition out of that. I don't think I would. It's at that moment where you don't know if you're gonna what's gonna happen in your life. And if it wasn't for praying, I don't think I would have been able to get out of that point in my life. I was just in a very dark place at that time, and I know that a lot of students will especially go through that, especially those students that are at that point where they have to make a big decision. Do I study this? Do I study that? Do I take this job? Do I accept this internship? There's so many big decisions that you are forced to make when you go to college and when you're after college, and everything's gonna be all right. I think that's one of the biggest lessons that I learned. Everything's gonna be okay as long as you pray, and then everything will find its place. That's probably one of the biggest things, because you may not know it, even though you may not know that you may think that it's not the right thing for you. For example, if you want to become a nurse or something, I know a lot of my friends in the Bay Area are trying to shoot for nursing school. You may not know it, and you may think to yourself, I didn't get accepted, I didn't do this, I wasn't able to get into these types of schools. It could be a blessing in disguise. You may never know, because um, yes, you may not be able to initially get what you wanted, but if you continue to pray, you will get what's right for you from our Almighty God. And I think that just learning though from those past experiences, learning to trust and put my faith and trust in our Almighty God, that's probably one of the biggest reliefs that I ever had, especially when doing something that is non-traditional, something that I had to make a huge change in my life. And I know that students will always face that, because they are deciding between different jobs, different majors, different classes. There's so many different things that students are going to face, especially if they're young. They don't know, they don't have too much experience yet, and it could be their first time working. It's going to be quite difficult. So hopefully they will be able to get that.
Really well said, Brother Miguel. And, all throughout this broadcast, I feel like you were dropping some wisdom for
Yeah, there's
all
some
of us
great
who are
nuggets
tuning
right there.
in.
For those
Yeah.
at home who are going through college, is exactly what Brother Miguel has said. Keep praying. It may not always work out the way you planned, but like you said, it may be a blessing in disguise,
Yeah.
right? Just always keep praying, keep prayer at the very foremost of what we do, and God will make it happen.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
100.
Brother Miguel, thank you again for joining us on air. Before we sign off, do you have any greetings or shout outs? Any brethren or locales you'd like to shout out as well?
Yeah, I have a lot. Shout out to first and foremost Fremont Locale, my family. A shout out to those in San Jose, San Francisco. Shout out to Sister Jazel, Sister and shout out to everybody for those that are supporting me in my endeavors in school, especially going back to school. Really hope that everyone is able to do well. And thank you so much for joining our podcast. Shout out to those that were able to join. That's probably the most important ones. I might not know everyone, but I'm really excited. Hopefully, if you ever come to California, come visit Northern California. Brother James and I will tour you around.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Brother Miguel, man, and thank you so much to everyone. Thank you to my co-host James. It was a fun talks tonight for sure.
Great
And
talk.
yeah, thank you so much to everyone in the live chat, all those who tuned in, and thank you also to all those who are supporting us in both districts, Silicon Valley and Bay Area, California. Thank you to the Silicon Valley district staff, the overseeing CFO overseer, Brother Francis Valencia, to the Assistant District Minister, Brother Alex Onyate, as well as to the District Supervising Minister, Brother Noel Gasman. And for us within Bay Area, thank you so much to our Multimedia Advisor, Brother Sean Adam, to our CFO Overseer, Brother Alex Florido, to our Assistant District Minister, Brother Rayuel Del Rosario, and to our District Supervising Minister, Brother Jojo Bayani. Also, thank you so much to those in INCRadio, our Clea Tech who helped us out, as well as our Executive Producer, Brother Manly Andaya. And of course, thank you so much to the church administration, our SEBC CEO, Brother Angelo Manalo, as well as to our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, for all your help within INCRadio. Thank you, everyone. Hope to see you again, and have a great weekend.
Have
Bye.
a great one.
See you at our
everybody.
activities.
See you next Friday.
Yes, next Friday, 9:30 p.m.
Come through California.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
A wake-up call for us all, whom God has called into the fold. He expects us to act.
James is going to talk to you after all of this.
I'll do it if James is